Is this really a kursi bachao budget, as the opposition claims, or is the opposition trying to find something to pin the government down with? Because you can't expect the opposition to appreciate the fiscal conservatism in the budget or the employment-linked incentives. They have to find some hook with which to attack the government, and because states like West Bengal, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Haryana, Delhi are feeling slighted, therefore they're saying we'll now boycott the Niti Aayog meeting that's supposed to be held this weekend in the capital, and this is a biased budget. Is it really? Joining us on this broadcast, representing the ruling National Party, Shehzad Poonawalla from the BJP. Squaring off against him, we've got Priyanka Chaturvedi, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha from the Shiv Sena. We've got Juhi Singh from the Samajwadi Party, and Rajat Sethi joins us as well. Shehzad Poonawalla, start by responding to the charges being flung by the opposition. One, by naming Bihar and Andhra Pradesh as often as the Finance Minister did. It's in some ways made public the political weakness of the government, that there is a dependence on allies from Bihar and Andhra Pradesh, which is why she had to mention two states disproportionately. Other states weren't mentioned. States like Haryana, Jharkhand, Maharashtra are election bound, and the opposition is trying to use this to pin your government down, saying that hamare state ko kuch nahi mila, and where you've got political dependence, those are the states that seem to have benefited. Shehzad Poonawalla.
Actually, Rahul, all of these allegations are in the realm of chehra bachao allegations, because they didn't have really anything substantial to say about the budget. They have indulged in what I call MSP, maximum siyasat and politics, and let me expose why I say that. First of all, there's an old saying, झाकी रही भावना जैसी प्रभु मुहूर्त दिखे तिन तैसी. As far as mentioning the names of states is concerned, there is not a single budget of the UPA where all states were mentioned, but in the year 2012-13, as soon as the ADMK came to power in Tamil Nadu, the usual, the name of Tamil Nadu was dropped from the budget speech, which was continuing from 2006 to 12. But having said that, let me come to the facts today. The fact today is that they have said that, oh look, Andhra and Bihar have been given, but, and I quote Mr. Kharge, Karnataka, Kerala, Odisha, Himachal, in states ko kuch nahi mila. Madam Priyanka Chaturvedi has said Maharashtra Virodi budget tha. Now let me quote you some facts. Out of the 12,40,000 crores which have been allocated to the states by the center, which state has got the highest? Uttar Pradesh, 2,23,000 crores. The UPA used to give 59,000 crores. Second is Bihar, 1,25,000 crores. Third is Madhya Pradesh, 97,000 crores. Fourth is, please hear this, 93,000 crores for West Bengal. Much more than Maharashtra. Maharashtra has 78,000 crores, but the total picture of Maharashtra has to be seen with the fact that the port of 76,000 crores plus 8,000 crores worth of special schemes were given. Now let's come to the other facts. Andhra Pradesh, 50,474 crores, comes at 9th position, which is at 8th position. Tamil Nadu, 50,873 crores. By the way, this is not something that is done during the Chunav. Let me give you some more facts, because Rahul, I remember your promo. It always says, I have the data, and here tonight, I have the data. Bihar between 2004 to 14 got 2.75 lakh crores. This is through devolution and grants. Between 2014 to 24, before this budget, Bihar got 9 lakh crores. Nothing to do with the current change in the situation in the JDU's position was vis-a-vis this government. Let me give you another fact. Tamil Nadu.
Okay, I think you've spoken enough. You've set the stage for this debate. I'll come back to you for more later. Priyanka Chaturvedi, the response from the BJP is that I'll come back to you. Shehzad, I'll come back to you. You've had an adequate opportunity to set the stage for this debate. I'll come back to you.
Just one line.
Okay, one line. Okay, go on. One line.
I'll sum it up in one line. Rahul, even in the India alliance, there is so much confusion that in Bihar, Patna, Laluji's wife says, Rabdi ji says, कि बिहार को झुंझुनू ना मिला, and in Delhi, Kharge ji says कि इनकी थाली में पकोड़ा और जलेबी डाल दी गई. I think to first of all say like this about any state is very demeaning towards the people of Bihar.
That's your one line. Now, Priyanka Chaturvedi,
should I believe pakoda? Should I believe झुंझुनू?
The finance minister said in parliament that even when our government wasn't in power and other parties were, the finance minister would never mention every state and what allocations being made for every state. That as is always the case, there are state-specific allocations for all states, including Maharashtra from where you come, and therefore there is nothing amiss in the manner in which she presented the budget. That's the argument. You heard Shehzad Poonawalla, your initial response.
No, I'm not going to be going on the basis of their argument and what their minister has to say to defend herself. I will speak for what Maharashtra, as an MP from Maharashtra in the Rajya Sabha, I'm going to speak for what we were expecting of Maharashtra. And having said that, we did not want her to name any of the states. You are a Union Minister of India. You're the Finance Minister of India. You're not the Finance Minister of Bihar or Andhra Pradesh because you repeatedly took their name. We didn't ask you to take all these names. When a Finance Minister of India speaks, she speaks for whole of India. She speaks about, if she has 1 rupee in her kitty, she ensures that 1 rupee is well spread out so that whichever state needs more hand-holding will be given to them, whichever state needs maybe lesser hand-holding will be allocated to them. Not on the basis of politics, but on the basis of equity. That is where I come from, and that is what the argument has been with most of the opposition, that some states were favoured simply because at this point in time, they were facing a challenge from their own alliance partners about declaring either Andhra Pradesh and Bihar as a special state, and a special status that they get would have helped them in the future development projects that were to come, because central government puts in more money than the state government, but that was denied to them. And you'll make an argument about what Rabri Devi ji is saying, she's actually right. That instead of a special status, you'll have agreed not even on a special package, some money allocated to y'all. 1,20,000 crore was the special package that Prime Minister Modi had promised to the people of Bihar about 8 to 10 years back. What happened to that? You could have at least matched up to that. Nothing else. Again, now I shall repeat and continue to repeat. The problem is that this is perhaps the first time in the history of India that a union minister has shown discriminatory tactics so that she feels that she has contributed and done a huge service to her government by ensuring that this becomes Pradhan Mantri Sarkar Bachao Yojana.
Okay. Now,
by the virtue of not that we are asking her to take all the names, but at least ensure there's equitable income spread.
Rajat Sethi, the opposition says, and you just heard Priyanka, yes, it's correct that you can't name every state, but we didn't ask you to name any state. We didn't say spend the first 20 minutes of your budget largely around Bihar and Andhra Pradesh. The fact that you do this shows your dependence on these allies, which is very different from what the country's seen over the past 10 years. And with the fact that you got elections now in Haryana, Jharkhand and Maharashtra, it also exposes the BJP to attacks from the opposition कि हमें कुछ नहीं दिया, आंध्र और बिहार को दे दिया. You know, in Maharashtra, in Haryana and Jharkhand, that's a narrative the opposition will now try and push.
See, Rahul, I agree with you. This battle is not battle about the financial policy of government of India or otherwise. This battle is how does one bloc versus the other tries and captures the narrative. Prime Minister has, tried his level best to present a very fiscally prudent budget there, and therefore, which is, by the way, centered around jobs and address the core issue, the core elephant in the room, which was joblessness and jobless growth. So he tried to, address that front on. The opposition strategy has been to completely capture the narrative and drive it into another direction. And that is the plain politics that is going on. But below that layer, the precursor to this budget, if you go back to February, when the, vote on account was passed, remember states like Tamil Nadu, like Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, they put up 80 feet hoardings saying zero budget allocation to these states. So the opposition party has, in their respective states, have been consistently using this theme. They've been consistently using this fault line to convince the population of India living in southern states that not enough fiscal parity is there in the minds of Prime Minister Modi's government. So this narrative has been consistently being peddled, and it is actually drawing a lot of support among the people living in southern India. That needs to be tackled head-on by the BJP. So therefore, optic-wise, if you go out and put out so many mentions of Bihar and Andhra Pradesh, I would say that the BJP in the next day should have actually come out with a public declaration of the allocation so that you can nip this narrative in the bud itself, so that the opposition doesn't get an opportunity to run with it and create ruckus in the party.
Juhi Singh, is
so
this what is
politics.
what is at play? It's not about what has been allocated in the budget to these states. It's about trying to build a political narrative by claiming victimhood, by claiming that Haryana got nothing, Maharashtra got, Jharkhand got nothing. This is really being done by the opposition with an eye on the assembly elections, because very obviously the opposition is not going to stand up and say, oh, our fiscal deficit is coming down from 5.1 to 4.9, more bond money is going to come into India, this is fantastic because we are now joining the global bond markets. You're not going to praise the budget for anything it does, and therefore you're just looking for the best opportunity to attack it, and this suits you.
Rahul, I think this budget, the two people said, it's all about policy failures and the lack of policy implementation by the government. And yes, after 10 years, and we do have our data. So job creation, somebody talked about. How are you going to do that? Your skill development ministry, that means, needs to be abolished, because the direct scheme, which you are being very proud of announcing, is that you are over 5 years, you are going to skill 1 crore workers in the 500 companies, that's about 4,000 people per year. When we look at joblessness, and your own economic survey reveals that 50% or 51% of our graduates are not job worthy. So there is something wrong in the system, or systemic failures, that you cannot even have an education system which actually equips your students to be ready for the challenges and to make them get ready for secure jobs. Let's just go through the data. In UP, for 60,000 vacancies in the police, we had 48 lakh applications. We just saw for 15 vacancies about 1,000 people queuing up in a private company. Again, in SSC exams, there were about for 7,500 jobs. Again in UP, we had about 24 lakh applications. So that's the situation of joblessness which you are facing. Again, you said that agriculture, data, you are saying you allocated 1.5 lakh crores. So now that is a decline from 2019 to 20, and especially in the post-COVID period when agricultural distress is real. Agriculture has declined. The growth in agriculture has declined to 1.7 from 4.7 or something. So what is the booster you're giving to agriculture? What is the guarantee or even the support you're going to give the farmers to even attain MSP? How are they going to get their input costs recovered, make profit?
So let's spend a moment on that, Shehzad, because we saw Rahul Gandhi also go out and meet leaders from the Kisan Morcha. They seem to be planning another big agitation now. It will have an impact on Haryana by not mentioning Haryana, giving it some special treatment like you gave for Bihar and Andhra Pradesh. Is the BJP running the risk, as Rajat Sethi says, of letting the opposition build this mahal? Haryana ke kisanon ko kuch nahi mila, Maharashtra's got nothing, Bengal is claiming victimhood, Jharkhand has an election, that you've kind of now in an attempt to try and appease Bihar and Andhra Pradesh, from where you've got crucial allies on whom your government's fate depends, you've potentially run the political risk of antagonizing other election-bound states.
Rahul, I was just quoting data to you. Karnataka between 2004 to 14 and 14 to 24 has got 3.5 times more money. Tamil Nadu got 2.5 times more money. So by that logic, were we trying to appease Tamil Nadu and Karnataka too? The logic has to apply similarly. Point number 2. Maharashtra, let me take this and give you some facts. In 2012, 2013, 2014, the average allocation for Maharashtra was 15,000 crores. Today it is 78,000 crores. Today it is 76,000 crore port. There is 8,500 crore of special projects. There's 8 lakh crore of infrastructure projects that are going on. And there is another 36,000 crore of projects which the Prime Minister unveiled in July just recently. But having said that, why doesn't this get communicated, addressing Rajat's point? Rajat, I am the national spokesperson of the BJP. I have actually done videos. I have sent it to all the journalists, especially also on this channel, but it does not run. Just like the fact that 1,200 farmers committed suicide in Karnataka, Rahul Gandhi goes and meets farmers. I, as the national spokesperson of the BJP, took a stand and I asked Rahul Gandhi that Rahul Gandhi and many journalists who support him, why don't you take a stand on 1,200 farmers committing suicide? Not a word of mine is run. I don't know why I'm locked out. The fact is that Telangana farmer committed suicide on air, on camera, and said, Congress people grab my land. Not a word was run. I gave a story about how MSP, which was fixed by the center in Punjab for Moong Dal, the Bhagwant Mann government said we will procure 100% of it. 2 years down the line, 99% was procured at private sector hands at less than 700 or 800 rupees from the MSP. Not a word of it is carried. The job issue, let me come to that as well. The Gujarat video went very viral. This channel also showed it, Rahul. I don't fault you for that. But I sent this channel and other channels how Jharkhand SPOs were beaten up, how Jharkhand Shiksha teachers who were demanding jobs were beaten up. In Telangana, people who were demanding the
So
youth were
I hear
demanding
what
jobs.
you're saying.
This is the Congress
Your
promised 2
charge
lakh
is that
sarkari
there
jobs.
is
Not a word was shown.
hypocrisy and selectivism. And let Priyanka Chaturvedi respond that when opposition leaders, and this point was made, when people die in Tamil Nadu, the opposition doesn't cry foul. You're picking on the BJP because you're trying to build a political narrative around it. That's really what this is down to. There is nothing else. This is just rank politics. There's no larger good that you are seeking. This is just pure political opportunism. Priyanka Chaturvedi.
No, BJP can keep alleging what they want to allege. But the fact of the matter is that when we were seeking the Rajaji Marg land, the salt pan lands for the metro car shed, to ensure that metro forest is not, the RA jungles are not destroyed, it was blocked by the Supreme Court because we were in power at that time, blocked by the government of India at that time. Piyush Goyal ji took it to the Supreme Court and blocked that takeover. Now what is happening? The same part of land and parcel of land is being handed over to Adani under the garb of Dharavi redevelopment project. And RA forest stands destroyed thanks to whatever they have done and all the development that is going on around that. So having said that, that hypocrisy, I don't need to selectively pick and choose where we are seeing Bharatiya Janata Party do what they want. They are blocking funds of West Bengal. They are blocking funds of Tamil Nadu. They blocked even the GST collections of Maharashtra when we were in power. They blocked vaccines coming to us. We had more population than Gujarat, but it was blocked. Gift City has gone to Gujarat. IFSC has gone to Gujarat. The headquarters of cement factories have moved to Gujarat. Surat the diamond bourse that was the mainstay of Mumbai was taken away to Gujarat. It's just another fact that Surat is not conducive for their businesses. That's why they're returning back. I can name many other states.
Okay.
You can pick and choose the data you want, right? I will speak for every, let's say, farmers of Tamil Nadu.
Rajat Sethi, as somebody who's worked on BJP campaigns in the past, this argument that Priyanka Chaturvedi is pushing, is that something that concerns you? That all of this can lead, like for example, Maharashtra being discriminated against at the expense of Gujarat. In the budget, Haryana farmers being upset, Rahul Gandhi meeting these farmers saying, we will give you guaranteed MSP. Ultimately, it will be very difficult for the Congress to be able to do this, as we are seeing in Karnataka. Each of those guarantees are very expensive and they're very difficult to find the financial headroom to try and arrange the money for. But politically, it's explosive. And right now, there are elections and 3 assembly elections. And those assembly elections, what happens in them will be very important to determining what happens over the next 4.5 years.
So, see, Rahul, what is happening in states like Maharashtra is that opposition is utilizing this fault line to build, public anger against the fact that one state is taking over the projects which somehow legitimately sort of belong to another state. And, it's such a slippery slope that it doesn't stop there. When leaders step in, I remember KCR, when he was the Chief Minister of Telangana, he made a statement, an outrageous statement. He was sitting on a constitutional post and he still talked about United States of South India. Look at what DK Shivkumar's brother said. It was right at the verge of being seditious when he said that, we need to plan a separate country. It's all these, these deliberate, incisive statements which are made in just to pluck the lowest possible hanging fruits in politics and to reach the lowest denominator. Now, the problem with this politics is that you do not want to up your game. Maharashtra really has been trailing on several important factors of production which are important to attract in industry. Why is it languishing? It is right now at rock bottom. It's gone down to 7th or 8th or possibly the 10th position in terms of being attractive. What has Uddhav government done when he was in power to bring in capital or bring in the industry? Nothing at all. Now,
but that argument is not to be made by the Uddhav government. It is the BJP which is in power at the moment.
Like Tamil Nadu.
So why are you asking questions of the Uddhav government?
Rahul, I'll have to step in, please.
There have been states like Tamil Nadu.
I'll have to step in.
Rajat Sethi, you can't ask questions to the Uddhav government.
Rahul, it's my turn
because
to
that's
speak.
long in the past. It's the BJP government along with the NCP.
Rahul, I'll need to rebut this.
Okay, Priyanka Chaturvedi, very quick rebuttal because I had to move on. Go on. Okay, one second. Everybody can't speak at the same time. Priyanka's asked for 20 seconds. Let's give her 20 seconds. Other faders go down. I'll come back to you, Shehzad. Drew is waiting as well. Let's give Priyanka ji 20 seconds. Yes?
Just 2 small things I'd say here. He quoted some Karnataka leader saying something. I hope he understands the difference between someone speaking irresponsibly versus someone making policies which are irresponsible and divisive and discriminatory. I'm sure he understands the difference. No, second, he said, what did Uddhav bring? What
He
did
was
Uddhav...
the member
Firstly,
of
Mr.
Parliament.
Uddhav Thackeray, as a chief minister,
And the brother of
as a
DK
chief
Shivkumar.
minister, I'm sorry. Yeah, so just because of, by the virtue of him being a member of parliament, he can shape policies
Congress member of
along with
parliament.
Shivkumar? Did they bring in any policy
bigger
which was
authority do you
discriminatory?
want?
Please,
Okay,
I'm
I
sorry.
hear that.
Did he
I
bring
just
in any
want-
policy that was
He was a sitting
discriminatory?
chief
So I hear
minister.
that.
Casual,
I quoted
irresponsible
KCR as a
statements
sitting chief
do not
minister.
make for policies. I'm
Sitting
sorry.
chief minister,
Financial funds have been stopped. Okay, listen.
you cannot go out and
Rahul,
say
please
United
allow
States
me to
of
This is
South
not
conclude.
right. I
You're
can't
not
have
interrupting
everyone
so much.
speaking at the same
You-
time.
I
10
know
more
you are
seconds to
interrupting,
Priyanka
I need to
Chaturvedi to
interrupt.
complete our argument.
Yeah, so just 10 more seconds. So I'll just give him two names. One is the Tata Airbus deal and one is Vedanta Foxconn. If he can answer that, whether he chooses to answer, that's his thing. But the point is that those industries were also taken away as soon as the other government came into power and it
Okay,
went to Gujarat.
let Shehzad
Unfortunately,
Poonawala
the
respond
Gujarat has now become
to this
unviable for
charge
Vedanta Foxconn.
that
So don't
states
talk
like
about
Gujarat are
competitiveness here.
benefiting at the expense of
Supply of
states which are
clean
not
water
run by
for
the BJP and that projects are being taken
One
there
second now, please, I request
disproportionately and that
everyone.
this could be a political issue in the forthcoming elections. Let Shehzad respond to this.
First of all, I am quoting data from the budget. Maharashtra 78,000 crores, Gujarat has got less than that. Secondly, Maharashtra today 78,000 crores plus the other figures I quoted. During Priyanka Chaturvediji's government's time, 15,000 crores. Even if you say the size of the economy was 1/3, you triple it, it was 45,000 crores you were offering by that indexation. But having said that, Priyanka Chaturvedi ji, please tell me, Mumbai-Nagpur high-speed rail corridor, Mumbai-Delhi expressway, Nagpur-Goa Shaktipeeth expressway, Mumbai-Nagpur expressway, Nagpur-Hyderabad-Bengaluru expressway, Konkan expressway, Mumbai Trans-Harbour Sealing project, Atal Setu, Pune Ring Road, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Raje International Airport, Mumbai Coastal Road, Versova-Bandra Sealing. These are just 1/10 of the projects I'm reading out. All of this is coming from the center fund. A lot of it is coming from the central fund. 8 lakh crore worth infrastructure project. But let me quote one more point. Priyanka ji, please tell me, Karnataka Congress leaders have said they are dead against Belgaum being given to Maharashtra. What is your stand? You're talking about Maharashtra rights, right? Please tell me your stand.
Okay, so
My stand will always be in favor of Maharashtra, and for that, even if I have to oppose our alliance partner, we will do that.
Okay, so
Don't
I
worry.
want
Why
to
are you not breaking
what
the
else
alliance with
happened today.
Karnataka?
Rahul
Why are
Gandhi
you
met
breaking
a
the alliance
group
with
of
Anything
farmers
that goes
from
against
Punjab
the
and Haryana in Parliament today. Protesting farmers have been demanding a new law to guarantee minimum support price for their produce. After his meeting with the farmers, Rahul Gandhi said that the Congress manifesto promises MSP with a legal guarantee and that the India bloc will pressurize the centre over the issue of MSP. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Agriculture of the Union attacked Rahul Gandhi, saying the Congress leader is lying brazenly to fool farmers.
कारण दिया गया राहुल
सर एनी रीजन कोई रीजन बता रहे हैं क्या वजह किसान जैसे लोग
कोई वजह आपको बताई गई
ये आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर से पूछिए तो दे नॉट अलाइंग द
क्या कहा जा रहा है राहुल जी क्यों नहीं अलाउ किया जा रहा है
आप नेता विपक्ष और आप किसान नेताओं से मिलना चाहते हैं क्या कहा जा रहा है क्यों नहीं आने दिया जा रहा किसान
कोई कारण
तो उनको पूछना पड़ेगा हमने यहाँ इनवाइट किया था अपने ऑफिस में मिलने के लिए तो यहाँ कहा गया है कि उनको अंदर नहीं आने देंगे शायद क्योंकि वो किसान है इसलिए यहाँ अंदर अलाउ नहीं कर रहे हैं तो बाहर मिल लेंगे।
ये तो क्लियर बात है कि अगर लड़ाई ही हमारी ये जो मांगे हैं इनमें मांग एक भी नहीं है, सब सरकार के अलग अलग समय के हमारे साथ लोगों के साथ किए हुए वायदे हैं और उन्हीं वायदों को अगर सरकार ना मुकरती ना वापस बैक होती तो हमें यहाँ आने नहीं पड़ता। एक बात बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट विपक्ष के नेता मानयोग राहुल गांधी जी से हमारी हुई है, जो हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट ने हमारे किसानों के ऊपर जिस तरह का अत्याचार किया है उसको इन्होंने हमारे साथ वायदा किया है कि जो हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट वही गोलियां चलाने वाले, वही मारने वाले, वही इन्वेस्टिगेशन करेंगे और वो कैसे इंसाफ देंगे उसके ऊपर हमारी आवाज बनकर पार्लियामेंट के अंदर वो बात रखेंगे, प्रयास करेंगे कि हमें इंडिपेंडेंट वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो पाए और उन्होंने ये भी हमारे साथ कमिटमेंट की है।
Okay, so Rahul Gandhi meeting these farmers. Yes, Juhi Singh, there are elections in Haryana in a few weeks from now. But the calculations which were done by agricultural economists, it will cost more than 10 lakh crore rupees to give a legal guarantee on MSP for these 23 crops. That's a lot of money which isn't available. In any case, we have commitments to fiscal responsibility. A lot rides on it internationally and domestically on that. Now, to what extent will the opposition go in an attempt to court important vote banks like farmers, but by being financially irresponsible? In the central message of the Modi government budget was they were being conservative, they were being responsible. It seems the opposition is willing to be profligate in the hope that it will get them some votes.
Rahul, I think the government has just introduced the long-term capital gains tax and without giving the benefit of indexing. So is the government in economic distress that they have to raise money in this way? That's the first thing.
They didn't introduce a long-term capital gains tax. It was reduced from 20% to 12.5%. Indexation in real estate was done away with.
The report, let me correct you, or maybe just add to you, Nirmala Sitharaman, I think, said that when she consulted people, only 13.5% would benefit by indexing the whole thing. So it was just dropped. So I think that maybe the report could be shared by the parliament whom she consulted. And the second thing is, of course, there is discrimination. The Buddhist
I just want to correct you because you were saying you were correcting me. They didn't introduce a new... They didn't introduce a new long-term capital gains tax on real estate. It was brought down from 20% to 12.5%, and indexation was done away with.
Indexing? Why not? Why don't I get the benefit for holding my property? Where is the indexing? Why do away with that? So you want more tax. And the second thing, of course, is infrastructure development. Bihar focuses on infrastructure development. So why the Buddhist circuit in UP has been ignored? Kushinagar Airport, just one flight. We built it. The Prime Minister re-inaugurated it. Shravasti, Sarnath, no allotment. So the Buddhist circuit exists only in states which are their alliance partners, I think. UP can probably be ignored. And the other thing which is extremely important is that what are you doing to address the food inflation? The finance minister just addressed it and walked past it. So when we talk of fiscal responsibility, when we talk of economic responsibility, then please address what you are allocating and how much budget have you used. Health is another.
Shehzad Poonawala, are you finding a very different kind of parliament this time round? Earlier, the government could say what it wanted, muscle its way through. Now, no matter what the government is trying to do, the opposition is trying to find some fault and try and put the government on the back foot. And that is playing out both ways. It's not like you are the only ones batting and they're going and fielding. They're trying to hit some shots as well.
राहुल जी, इसमें तो कोई अंतर नहीं है क्योंकि ये नंबर का नहीं, ये नियत का फंक्शन था. नियत इनकी पहले से वही थी, चाहे नंबर 44 थे, चाहे नंबर 52 थे या चाहे नंबर 99 है. उनको बजट से नहीं, बजट बनाने वाले से प्रॉब्लम है. इनको ये चाय वाले का बेटा तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बन गया जो केवल नेहरू की उपलब्धि थी, इससे प्रॉब्लम है. इसलिए बजट में कुछ भी हो जाए राहुल जी, इनकी समस्याएं कभी अंत नहीं होगी. और मैं इस पे आपको 2 आंकड़े देना चाहता हूं. आई वांट टू गिव यू कपल ऑफ फैक्ट्स. एमएसपी की बात हो रही है ना राहुल जी, विच इज द ओनली स्टेट इन इंडिया विच डज नॉट हैव एपीएमसी एंड डज नॉट गिव एमएसपी? वन ऑफ द स्टेट्स केरला. केरला में लागू करा दो एमएसपी. दूसरी बात, इनके जमाने में यूपीए 2 के जमाने में 3 लाख करोड़ वर्थ ऑफ एमएसपी फॉर राइस एंड व्हीट. वी हैव गिवन 11 लाख करोड़ इन द लास्ट 5 years. After that, MSP in Punjab, I have given you the example of moong dal farmers not given the MSP. I have also given you the example of 1200 farmers committing suicide in Karnataka. एक को शब्द नहीं बोलना है. I want to ask them what was the budget for agriculture during the UPA 2 which Samajwadi Party was supporting? 25,000 crores. Today it is 1,50,000 crores. What was the fertilizer?
Can I just stop you to say that as the economy grows, the budget for all heads increases. So the fact that over 10 years the budget for a particular head has gone up doesn't really mean anything, because that's also when the economy size has gone up substantially. So that's really the wrong way of looking at it. The right way of looking at it is by comparing it as a percentage of GDP, where allocations really should be looked at. Okay, very quickly because I'm out of time.
One line on this. Rahul, in 2014 our budget was $2 trillion. Today it's become about $4 trillion. So it's doubled. The budget of agriculture was 25,000 crores. It has more than doubled at 1,50,000 crores. So here is the proportionate.
Okay, Priyanka Chaturvedi, I'm out of time, but since you have your hand up, a quick final word. Shehzad Poonawala says, Niyat mein khote, no matter what the Chaiwala Prime Minister does, the opposition will find some reason to find fault, and this is something they just need to deal with. They've gone out knowing that Bihar and Andhra Pradesh allocations may get targeted because they want to send that message, and in any case you would have found some other reason to attack them, so they're saying, okay, game on.
No, firstly, I find it very problematic that you as an anchor continue to say that we are trying to find faults. You don't find any fault. You don't find a fault with what Juhi ji was saying, doing away with indexation, and you're talking about LTCG coming down from...
That's a
20% to
very
1%.
complex argument. I'm actually
I
all for
we don't even need you to
simplifying
defend.
taxation.
I'm
Ma'am,
sorry,
one second.
just-
Indexation
no,
is
it's not a
also a
complex
way
argument.
of finding a loophole and creating uncertainty at the price at which a real estate asset is sold. A clear, simple rate of tax isn't necessarily a bad thing. They've also made taxation across different kinds of assets uniform at 12.5%, which again isn't bad. Why should a particular financial asset get tax advantage over some other asset? Okay, Priyanka.
Now, if I can complete,
Yes,
thank you
please.
so much. Right? If I can complete, thank you so much. So having said that, I find it problematic. Maybe it's not a problem for you as an anchor, but I find it problematic.
Okay.
And all I'd say is, you are defending what they're doing right now. You are actually justifying some taxation. You should probably go on social media. The hardcore supporters of the Bharatiya Janata Party are upset with this point. Having said that, you said the Congress government and India alliance is willing to do away with fiscal deficit, targets just to please a certain section. Is that what you said? To do away, to give away welfare schemes and promote, talk about a minimum support price? While on the other hand, Shehzad Poonawalla is discussing about how farmer lives and incomes have got better under them. So what is the confusion? I think firstly we need to understand why is it that only Bharatiya Janata Party can look at a fiscal consolidation while the other party, if it's talking about the poor, is being so irresponsible about fiscal consolidation. When they do away with corporate loans and they waive off these loans, that's not fiscal consolidation issue. The fiscal consolidation issue only comes in when we're talking about farmers, when we're talking about the poor, when we're talking about bringing money and ensuring
corporate
that there's
loans
no private
were not
consumption
done
in the
away
market.
with. That is factually wrong. What was reduced instead was corporation tax. Corporate tax was reduced. Tax and loan are two different things. But anyway, we're getting stuck in an argument which has no end. I think the government has spoken, the opposition has spoken.
Are you serious?
One line.
I will leave it to our viewers to decide what they make of this. You've heard from different points
You
of
are
view.
saying loans, the NPAs have not been waived off. NPAs have not been written off.
That is factually incorrect, madam.
Are we talking that?
IBC
Okay, we'll get caught in a very long debate. Let Rajat Sethi respond very briefly. Rajat.
On the floor of the House said that
Absolutely,
1.5 lakh crore rupees was
Absolutely.
retrieved, recovered. 1.5 lakh rupees, 5
NPAs
lakh
have
crore
come
rupees
down.
was recovered. But if you
I
do
don't
not
know
want,
what-
if you choose to
After
ignore
probably
every
getting
fact
an
that is
80%
stable.
haircut and 90% haircut.
Just one line.
IBC, ma'am, Priyanka madam,
Absolutely.
IBC
one line.
data was
Everything is
put on the
factless
floor
when
of
it
the
comes to
House.
Okay,
when it
we'll
comes
just
to
have
an
to call the
opposite side of
participants back for another debate on whether the insolvency and bankruptcy code is working the way that it should, whether it's having the desired result. But basically, the budget maths is now on the side, the budget politics has taken over, and that's the reality that we are confronted with.